hello, everyone out there in TV land. Welcome to our show this week at University E. My name is Les Bruce. My co-host is Jonathan.
Jonathan Lawson, and glad to see our audience here, our viewing audience again. Glad to see you here, Flash.
Good to see you, Jonathan.
Another exciting show coming.
Absolutely, on this here in East Point, Georgia.
All right.
And, we were just talking a lot and just expressing our blessings and gratitude for everything that we have because, I have found, and we've talked about this a number of occasions, that if you're, basically know where you are, not content, but know that there's always a better opportunity waiting for you, you just have to look for it and find it and work at it, then that's a great attitude to have.
And being in America, I guess that's why so many people really want to come to America, because of the opportunity. And it is a great place for opportunity.
An opportunity is everything.
It is.
It's everything. I mean, if you were someplace where there was absolutely no opportunity, now taking advantage of opportunities, now that's the other, as they say, the shoe that falls.
That's right.
Because first you got to basically have opportunities, then you have to take advantage of them. Because, the definition of poor, P-O-O-R, stands for passing over opportunities consistently, repeatedly, P-O-O-R, passing over opportunities repeatedly. And that's what a lot of people do. And then they blame it on bad luck. They blame it on just don't get a break. They blame it on being in the wrong place. Well, but they pass over these opportunities all the time. But they have to be there for you to take advantage of it.
But bless, you can make excuses or you can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And you have to make a difference in your own life if a difference is going to be made. Just take a look at, let's just take lottery winners. They win the lottery, and most of them, a lot of them, a high percentage of them, in 60 months, they're in worse shape than they were before they won. They never learned the principles of money.
That's what one of my mentors told me, shared with me very early on in our relationship, is that when you go through things, starting a business, running a business, learning a successful business, learning how to be successful, you learn a lot of things. You make mistakes. You may bloody your nose, but you learn from your mistakes and you grow. And so that's why people who become wealthy or learn how to run a business or be successful, something happens to them, knocks them off their path, or they have a major challenge, they're able to come back because they know what they did to get there the first time.
That's right.
So to speak exactly what you were just saying, for people who have those quote-unquote windfalls, that they didn't have to change anything about who they were to achieve anything, but they just have something drop on them, especially like money, they have no idea how to manage that. And as a result, it goes very fast away from
Very fast, and that's why I think the number is something like 74% of professional athletes, once they leave the profession, the same, about 60 months, that they're out of money.
They're out of money because they were gifted athletically, but not gifted when it comes to managing money.
And nobody taught them.
And nobody taught them along the way, so when they stopped playing their sport or got injured or whatever, they weren't ready to actually move on.
Right. The second life, we'll call it.
The second life, as they call it. Well, Jonathan and I have been talking quite a bit. We're excited about tonight's show because, first of all, we get to interact and share some things with our audience, but also we have had a number of occasions where people have been asking us about working with nonprofits and not-for-profit organizations.
Right.
And that's happened so much that we decided we finally want to take a look at that. And we decided that it is an area where we feel like there's a lot of opportunity to help people.
A lot of opportunity to help people, and quite frankly, it's a lot of opportunity for vendors, people that support and provide some of the systems for nonprofits to generate money to operate on. Let me say this about that. A lot of people don't understand that a nonprofit is actually a business, yes? It's a business. Just because it say nonprofit, it doesn't mean that you don't need money.
Absolutely. So income, and every entity and that needs cash flow.
Cash flow. That's the lifeblood of any operation.
Any operation, whether it's your family, whether it's a business, whether it's nonprofit, not-for-profit, a school, a church,
nation,
they all need money.
They all need money.
And so what we've decided to do is we're going to talk tonight about some of the principles of the things we've talked about all the time, but how those can be applied to working with not-for-profits and nonprofits and organizations. As a matter of fact, if you look across the screen and scrolling there, as we typically have every week, you're going to see a new website that we started called Funding Your Cause. FundingYourCause.com. And so that's a website where you can go and not only see a number of the things that Jonathan and I are talking about as far as some new concepts and some new thoughts about taking business ideas and incorporating them into your nonprofit or your not-for-profit or an organization, but also some vehicles to help you get there.
And that makes it real, tangible, something that's measurable, countable, and trackable. And those are some of the things you must have when you're running any operation to know whether you're making progress or not.
Absolutely. So let's take a step here and really just talk a little bit about the concept of business.
Okay.
And how what's going on presently with a lot of nonprofits and what's going on nonprofits, not-for-profits, organizations like that, institutions that have a cause and a passion. However, they're caught in the I call it an old paradigm of being very much dependent, if not exclusively dependent, on donations and grants and just the goodwill of other people to give their money.
A car washes, a fish fries, or whatever.
Or standing in the corner collecting money, from people passing by, that type of situation,
right.
Which are very much proliferation of what most people think of when they think of fundraising.
Right.
And they typically tend to be one-shot deals, or I should say, you do it, but if you want more money, you got to do it all over again.
All over again.
And so there's no consistency in your strategy.
No sustainable plan.
No sustainable plan.
To have the funds coming in on a regular basis by the efforts of the supporters and leadership.
And just like any business that wants to succeed, it just makes sense to us that any organization that wants to succeed would have someone in their team who's there to watch the money.
To watch the money.
To watch the money.
And manage the money.
And manage the money and plan for the money beyond the money you have right now.
Right.
And I believe in my work with and my interaction with a lot of nonprofits and not-for-profits and institutions, because I put them all in that same place, is that they typically are run by very dedicated and very passionate folks about what they're doing, but they're all pretty much executors of whatever the vision is, but there's no one there managing the resources in that respect. And as a result, they work, try to get things accomplished. They look up and they need money, but they need it like next week or the week after next, that type of situation. So they start a fundraiser.
That's a fund, okay.
And then that means everybody's got to stop doing what they're doing.
Whatever they were doing.
And start concentrating on the fundraiser. Go ahead.
And that actually break the rhythm of whatever your mission is or was, or that everybody was concentrating on. Because now you have to have more money to do what you're doing. And some of the things that Pleasant and I are looking at, some of the vehicles that we're recommending to nonprofits will eliminate that, unless something happened in the economy that's just totally unforeseen. But let's talk about a couple of the vehicles we're talking about, Glenn.
Well, let's talk about that, because what we've talked about is that we've talked about things that people, for the most part, are using every day.
Right.
In some form or another, or if they're not using it every day, it's in high demand. And that people see it as something that brings value to what they're doing, as opposed to something that they don't see much value in. As a result, they don't participate.
Right.
I mean, you can imagine if, you were offering something as far as a barbecue or something like that, or a car wash. If people value their car being washed, then they will participate. But a lot of people maybe don't value their car being washed, so they won't participate in it. And so you really, it's contingent on people feeling that there's value associated with what you're providing.
And
that's essential to a business type of mindset.
And like we said now, nonprofits are businesses.
They are.
Whether the people that's running them understand or know that or not.
Absolutely.
So one of the vehicles that we promote is using these devices for your fundraisers for your nonprofits. Everybody that's supporting your nonprofit have one anyway. And people that want to support your cause probably already has a cell phone too. One of the vehicles that we're using are cell phones. We can use, or you can use, or we'll teach you how to use this device on 3 of the major networks. Only one that we don't have now is AT&T. So they'll tell you what major networks we do have, the other 3. So consequently, no credit, no contract, no deposit.
I mean, they're very similar to people paying prepaid now. I mean, it's
Exactly.
a prepaid program, so it's not a new concept.
Right.
It's not experimental.
Mm-mm.
It's not a theory.
Right.
It works. People have been using it for years now. As a matter of fact, it's the fastest growing percentage of new wireless business. Is prepaid business.
And 340 million of them. And so there's no shortage of supporters for your cause. If you promote your cause, promote your vehicle, promote your fundraiser, and now we're talking about a way that you don't have to go ask them every 90 or 120 or even every year. Because as long as they keep their service, your organization can get a check.
Well, and as we said before, when we were talking offline before we got in front of the show here, in front of the camera, that you don't have to stop doing what you're doing.
Whatever it is.
I mean, if you want to continue to do the barbecues or the
Fish fries
or the car washes or campaigning, whatever, then you can continue to do that.
Right.
Just don't make those things your sole source. Look at some other opportunities that can generate sustainable giving.
Sustainable
These
cash flow.
recurring giving.
Mhm.
And that's the lifeblood of any organization, whether it's a household that needs recurring income coming in,
Right.
or it's a church that needs continuing and recurring giving through donations, or a business that needs continuing and recurring customers. It's not a new theory. It is
At all.
it is an actual practical strategy
Mhm.
that most successful companies work at and work very hard to try to see how much they can improve that. And so, obviously, the cell phone is one example. I
Right.
mean, there's other examples too. I mean, we were talking earlier about, there's utilities.
Right.
There are products that we use every day to make us feel better, to look better, and to basically keep our houses clean. I mean, there's a lot of different things.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, we were saying, don't think that it's not possible to almost be your own mini Amazon.
That's a powerful thought, Les.
Mhm.
And it can be done.
It can be
As
done.
a matter of fact, that's what we're working on.
That's what we're working
If you
on.
look at our site. There are many vehicles available, and especially now in the age of technology, worldwide technology, and it doesn't have to all be onshore, but it's all available. We were talking about the word opportunity.
Opportunity.
And this is the greatest opportunity for us to band together with spending money, working together to make a major cash flow difference in the communities with the nonprofits for their own self-funding. And also we're working with business to business. It's just time to make that much difference.
You're right. It is time. It is time to do some things differently than what we've done before.
Right.
Because, one of my other mentors told me a long time ago, one of the definitions of insanity is continue to do the same thing over and over again, but expect a different result.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are.
I think we are.
Because, we talked about this before on different shows,
Mhm.
that time and time again, basically being able to be in the distribution business
Mhm.
is a vehicle to take you to freedom and self-determination and possibly wealth. Everybody who starts a business, whether they're just starting it out of their garage or they start in a building, they're either distributing a product or a service.
That's what's out there.
That's what's out there. So don't get wound around the axle thinking about, well, I'm going to have to sell something. Well, you can look at it that way. However, I prefer to think of it as you're just going to let people know that you have a product that they're looking for, and you can make it available to them. And if you shop with me, that helps my cause.
That's right.
That's exactly what you're doing.
That's exactly what you're doing. And if you're doing it in a nonprofit environment, now we have systems and vehicles that will help you give back to the person that's supporting you.
Mhm.
Because if you can eliminate a bill, a utility bill, or we can eliminate gas bills in Georgia through the nonprofits, we can eliminate the cell phone bill for 25% of everybody that support the cause. It just makes sense,
Well, it does make sense, but also it's time.
It's time.
It's time for a lot of folks to start thinking about different ways to get their problem solved,
Right.
or to get things solved in a way to where start working what they call smarter and not harder.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of ways to make things happen, and it's not based on luck. It's not based on basic your birthright.
Right.
It's not based on who you know to a certain degree,
Mhm.
but it's based on though you making a decision that you're going to start doing something different.
Something different.
And so the website that's scrolling across, again, the screen, Funding Your Cause, is the program that Jonathan and I are championing. And as our stories told on the website, we started really as a way of saying, well, if we could help strengthen our communities and our neighborhoods and our families by helping them increase the amount of income that's coming into their organization, institution, or their family, then we're going to strengthen those.
Yes.
And that's how we started the show. We started the show with saying that people need to understand more about why they should be starting businesses and why they should be using these businesses as vehicles to help them achieve their financial and their spiritual and their emotional goals. And evolution of that is obviously working with nonprofits and churches and schools and things like that. And so that's why we've expanded. And now we're going to make sure that the story doesn't stop at the door of a nonprofit or stops at the door of a church or an institution, that they're part of this community. And as being a part of the community, and an integral part of our communities, they need to also be strengthened.
And that's what we're strengthening. Strong leadership and also strong cash flow. You need both of them. One without the other would usually lead to a downfall.
Well, it's not sustainable.
That's it.
Because you can have a lot of cash flow, but you have no leadership, that's not sustainable.
That's right.
And you can have plenty of leadership with no cash, or no income, or no financing, no funding, that's not sustainable.
That's not.
So they have to go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. And therein lies the name of our show, University. Our objective here is to do everything that we can to impart information and knowledge to our viewing audience, and then assist them along the way to achieve their objectives. Like at Club E, it's 3707 Main Street in College Park. That's where we actually do a lot of our business out of. And we invite you to come over, see it, and most of the time, me and Pless will be there, a lot of the time. Or just call and make arrangements. You see our contact information, get in touch with us. This is serious, people. It's time for everybody to be accountable for themselves and start making a difference in their own lives. And that's what we do.
That's what we're doing. You can go to universityE.com and you'll see our website there. You can get connected into all the other things we're doing when we're not on the air and talking about things, because we're also obviously living our lives in a way that we're practicing and carrying out many of the same principles and the same thoughts that we talk about on this show. But two, we're looking for more people to plug into what we're doing and use it to help yourself. I mean, that's really what it's all about. I mean, not only is the education important, but education without action is just a waste of education.
Waste of time. But you know, Bless, this brings us to a very important part. Tell them again about your book.
Well,
Own the Rainbow.
My book's called Own the Rainbow. Not on, O-N, but own it, O-W-N, Own the Rainbow, because that's where fulfilling your life starts with owning things of value. And, you know, the old saying or the old wise tale, they called it, that basically if you ever saw a rainbow, and if you chase the rainbow, and at the end of the rainbow is going to be a pot of gold. Well, we're saying create your own rainbow and create your own pot of gold.
That's what we're talking
about.
about.
So the essence of the book, and I'm giving the book away. Just go to ownthenrainbow.com and just let me know who you are, and I'm going to let you have that book. And then spread the thought around to people and send them there. Don't give them the book. Make them do some work too to earn the book by just going to the website and basically asking for it, and it will be given, right? Ask and ye shall be given.
That's right.
And so the book is very short because it's meant to be short. It's not meant to be all of my theory and thoughts and a dissertation on getting wealthy. It's meant to be a primer and an instructional vehicle so that you can start getting acquainted with some of the wealth principles that I outline in the book. And that's really what it's about, and taking action on those wealth principles. That's also the second half of the book. The first half of the book talks about the wealth principles. The second half talks about taking action on the wealth principles, and it's free. So take advantage of this free, because this free is actually worth something.
And that, again, speaks to value. The only value it's going to have is what you put it to. It's out there in the world. Now you know where to go and get it. Now if you go and get it, read it, interpret it, understand it, and you can even call us. And Pless can give you more details. And join us at Club E. We are looking to do we're doing what we say we're doing. We're making a difference. You can make excuses, or you can make a difference.
Right.
Pless and I are making a difference.
And two, I understand that you can't make excuses and money at the same time.
Not at the same time.
Yeah, you do one or the other. We choose to make money.
That's what we choose to do.
And so as a result of that, doesn't mean that everything's perfect.
No.
Doesn't mean that nothing ever happens that we didn't plan to happen the way we did. But it just means, though, that we persevere,
Uh-huh.
that we have determined. But we're not unusual people. We're just people who are highly motivated to get things done. And anyone can move to that state. Anyone can operate from that state. But it takes education. It takes action. It takes a mindset. And all these things we talk about on universityE.com and we talk about on the show.
Right.
So these are not untracked principles. These are not unproven principles. These are documented, and they are the foundation of what people have used since the beginning of time to be successful.
Right. And we've heard the expression, success leave clues. That's a fact. And anybody, anything that you want to do, somebody has probably done it before. Find out what they did, how they did it, and follow in the footsteps. It's going to lead you to the same type of success. This is a trackable, measurable environment. So the thing that we really, really want to see is our listeners and our viewers getting back with us, telling us what they've learned, what they are doing, because we succeed on your success.
Absolutely. That's it. That's why we do it. And we also, whether you have a business, for-profit business, a not-for-profit, non-for-profit, you have a charity, again, these principles are possible for you to use in your operation.
It is.
And take them and use them to help you achieve your goals. And when you do, let us know. Let us hear about it. I mean, we're willing to help you. Do it. But if you've gone ahead and do it by yourself, which is cool, but if you do it, then let us know. Because we'd be happy to share your story with others, because people need inspiration.
They do.
They have to supply their own motivation,
Uh-huh.
but people need inspiration. And if they hear some other people, I mean, Jonathan and I, we talk about our accomplishments only to help inspire other people. I mean, you know, we're not trying to impress upon people. We're not trying to impress people about who we are,
Right.
but we are trying to impress upon people it's possible to do these things and to get them done, but you have to be willing to participate in your own rescue.
There's a cost to be paid.
There's a cost.
And if
Up
you-
front
Up front and along the way.
and along the way.
But if you're going to reach an objective, then you're going to have to stay the course and make it happen for yourself and for your family. I know of a nonprofit organization, and it's for teenage mothers. And I met the owner of it, I guess it was about 3 years ago. And then all of a sudden there was no relationship, just disappeared, and I ran back into it. And from what I understand from what he shared with me, he's in the same dilemma today he was then, as far as the money. He got a budget. He has a budget for his nonprofit. But he have not found a way to get the funds to the budget to produce like he want to. And I said, well, do you have any idea how many young ladies that you could have assisted in preventing from getting pregnant? Simply because you could have done more if you had more to do it with.
Well, I would say that for the most part, I haven't done a study on it, but I'm sure that the vast majority of not-for-profits, nonprofits, institutions, organizations find themselves in a similar situation.
Yeah.
They probably would be able to do a much more effective job in accomplishing their goals. But I know in most instances they're driven, they have a passion for it,
Right.
but typically don't have the resources that allow them to be able to do that. And so that's what really we're trying to do and wanting to do and plan to do through this vehicle called fundingyourcause.com. We're planning to educate, we're planning to facilitate, and we're planning to help people execute a winning system that will help them achieve their goals.
Now, Bless, I think it's time for you to share with our viewers what system mean again. They need to be reminded of systems.
Well, actually, I'm going to share it, but it's also in the book. Own the Rainbow is an integral part of that principle for creating wealth. The system, SYSTEM, stands for Save Yourself Time, Energy, and Money. And who doesn't want to save themselves time, energy, and money? And if you use a system, no matter if it's a system that you develop or a system someone else develops, but you use it, it's going to save you time, energy, and money. And that's why so many people invest in franchises, because they typically are a proven idea or concept that has shown a level of success that should be able to be duplicated.
A proven system.
A proven system. And just like certain things in direct sales and network marketing, some other situations, I mean, here are some proven systems
That work.
that have worked
Mhm.
and worked for some time. And the thing is, though, no system will work for you if you don't plug into it.
Right.
No system will work for you if you're not a part of really thinking about how can I take this system and use it for my need and help me achieve my goals, because my goal is to help others. And if you aren't able to help others, then how can you achieve your goal?
Exactly. And helping yourself, you have to help yourself to help others.
Well-
There's no way to give without having something to give.
Well, you know, my mentors they're all great people. They've
Mhm.
taught me a lot of things, and a lot of them are a lot of the sayings that we always talk about on here. But another one is that, you know, a drowning person can't save a drowning person. So you have to either know how to swim yourself and be able to help someone, or be able to be in a position where you're not drowning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a metaphor, obviously.
Right.
You're not drowning, so you can help others. And that means you need to have these principles down. You need to be using them. Contact us, use us. We're willing to work with you. Believe me, we're willing to work with you,
Mhm.
and we're willing to help you succeed and achieve your goals.
And that's what university is all about. We know that it's challenging. So what? It's more challenging to live without.
Well, I mean, you know, you're going to, 5 years from now, you're going to, you know, God willing, you're going to be 5 years older.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you do something different than you're doing today, chances are you'll probably be in a similar situation.
Or
Now,
worse.
And it's going to come and go 5 years.
Mhm.
But the difference is whether you make a decision today to do something different today to affect the future. Because we can't do anything about the past.
Right. It's gone.
So stop sitting there and carrying on about what happened 10 years, 5 years, yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Just talk about what you're going to do now to affect the future. And you really can't predict the future, but you can control the future, or I should say you can create the future by doing something today different than what you did yesterday.
Right.
And only there. That's the only way.
Only way.
That's the only way to do it.
Because it's coming, whether you ready or not.
That's right. That's a commercial that goes around that says life comes at you fast.
It comes at you and getting faster.
And you get faster every day
Every
through
day.
technology and so many other things. So whether you're ready or not, it's coming. And it's
Mhm.
going to be here, so you need to get ready, or it'll run you over. It will run you over, and you'll be a casualty instead of, because you take life casually.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty powerful statement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you have to think about, put these thoughts in your head, because that's what we talk about all the time. We talk about the thoughts that are in your head
Mhm.
that drive your actions consistently to basically get you the results you want.
That's it. That's what we have to do.
That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. So,
That's why we've spent the time, the energy, and the effort to get on this show, to be here every Tuesday, to share this information with our viewers. Go to Club E, work. It's all about what you want to achieve. And we have vehicles now that you already have that can start building your own financial future, financial success of your nonprofits. It's just a powerful time now, and it's time to make a difference.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways, again, to drive it, but do something.
Mhm.
If you don't want to do the things that we're saying, that we vetted, and that we know are successful,
Mhm.
that's one thing, but do something. Because doing nothing is not an option.
Well, you're right. It's just simply not an option.
Yeah, doing nothing is not an option unless you just don't want to succeed. But if
Exactly.
you want to succeed, then you got to do something.
That's right.
And so we look forward to you contacting us. We look forward to interacting with you. We're very short on time now, so we're going to be signing off here very soon. But do go out to fundingyourcause.com. One site, go to universitye.com as an educational site. Put those two together and make them work for you.
Mm-hmm. And you can do it, and like we've already said, you don't start out with money, spending it, and you will invest to make a difference in your own life. But that's a part of making investments, so that you can have some of the things that you want. The best things in life, they say, are free. I'm gonna call that app. And right now,
I'm going to call them out on that, right?
Okay,
But it costs something. So,
It does.
Any parting words for this evening, Jonathan, as we get ready to close the show?
well, just continue to watch us, see what we're doing, and go back and pull Plessy's book up, read it, And let's start making a difference.
Well, let's start doing something.
Start doing
you
something.
can continue to watch what we're doing, but we're doing things. We want to see you doing things.
Mhm.
That means we got to see you in the community. We got to hear about you in the community. We got to hear about you by emailing us, because you can contact us through funding your cause or either university.com. So you can contact us. But we've been expressing for some time now what we're doing, but we want to hear more about what you're doing. So go out and do something, and people will recognize. People will start to see some things happening because they see somebody driven, somebody motivated, and somebody with a purpose, and it just seems like people are naturally drawn to that.
That's right.
People are
That's
naturally drawn to that, and it'll help you start getting more of what you want to accomplish. So it's been my pleasure being here tonight with you, Jonathan.
Same here, Pledge.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. And to our audience, thank you for being with us. Check us out on our Read Demand at university.tv, or go to university.com and fundingyourcause.com.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
All right.